Hi everyone, this is topic 3, part 4 of the human anatomy class. We have already covered epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue. We started connective tissue in the previous lecture and we already learned about connective tissue proper and fluid connective tissue. In this lecture, we are going to learn about supporting connective tissue. So supporting connective tissue, it has an ECM which is either gel-like or solid, and it usually provides a strong framework for support. There are two types of supporting connective tissue: cartilage with the semi-solid matrix and bone with the solid matrix. In the cartilage, the matrix is made up of a chemical known as chondroitin sulfate, while in bone, the solid matrix is composed of calcium phosphate. In both cartilage and bones, the cells, they stay inside small pocket-like structures called the lacunae. There are three types of cartilages in the human body: hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage, and fibrous cartilage or fibrocartilage. Hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage, some examples of location are in connection between the ribs and the breastbone, which is the sternum. It is also present in the C-shaped cartilage rings in the trachea that help the trachea to maintain its shape. The function of hyaline cartilage is to provide flexible support that reduces friction. This figure shows the diagram and a micrograph of hyaline cartilage. Look at the location of the cartilage cells, which are the chondrocytes. The chondrocytes are always present in pocket-like structures called the lacunae, and the space between the cells is the matrix. The second type of cartilage is elastic cartilage. Location of elastic cartilage is in the auricle, which is the external pinna of the ear. It is also present in the epiglottis and in the tube inside your ear. Function is flexible support. This figure shows the histology of the elastic cartilage, and the elastic fibers are very closely packed in this tissue. The third type of cartilage is fibrocartilage or fibrous cartilage, and the functions of fibrous cartilage are: it resists compression and helps in shock absorption. Location is pads inside the knee joints or in between the vertebrae, and it is also present in the pubic symphysis, which is present in the pelvic girdle. This figure shows the anatomy of fibrous cartilage. So we are done with cartilages and now we are going to move to bone. In bone, the ECM is solid because it's made up of calcium phosphate. Location of bones is present in the skeletal system. Main function of bones or skeletal system is to provide support. It is the structural framework. The compact bones are made up of units called osteons, O-S-T-E-O-Ns. In osteon, there is a canal in the center which is known as the central canal, and through this canal, an artery, a vein, and nerve pass. So the central canal contains blood vessels and nerves. Surrounding the central canal, the bone cells are arranged, and the bone cells are known as osteocytes. These bone cells are present in pockets called lacunae. So osteocytes are present inside lacunae, and these osteocytes are arranged in concentric circles. That means one circle outside of another circle, and then there is another circle outside to that. So these are present in concentric circles, and these concentric circles are known as the lamellae. Now, because the matrix of the bones is solid, it is made up of non-living material like calcium phosphate, it doesn't mean that the bone cells are isolated. Actually, the bone cells form cytoplasmic extensions, and this is how they connect to other bone cells in their neighborhood, and these cytoplasmic tunnels or the cytoplasmic canals are known as the canaliculi. This slide shows the histological organization of the osteons in a bone tissue, and you can see the lamellae, the canaliculi, and the central canal. This table compares the cartilage and the bone. The cells of the cartilages are known as chondrocytes, while the bone cells are known as osteocytes. In both cartilages and bones, the cells are present in pocket-like structures called lacunae. Matrix. The matrix of cartilage is semi-solid. It is mainly made up of chondroitin sulfate, while the matrix of the bone is solid and it is made up of crystals of calcium phosphate and calcium carbonate. The extracellular protein fibers in cartilages is made up of collagen, elastic and reticular fibers, while in bones collagen fibers predominate. Coming to vascularity, cartilages are not vascular while bones have extensive vascularization. So because of this extensive vascularization in bones, the repair capability is also extensive in bones, while in cartilages there is only limited repair ability. The covering of cartilages is known as perichondrium, while the covering of the bones is called periosteum. If you compare the strength, cartilages have limited strength, they are more flexible. Bones are strong, they resist distortion until a particular breaking point. Nutrient delivery, because cartilages are avascular, so it is mainly through diffusion, while in bones this is through cytoplasm and the canaliculi. We have covered all 4 types of connective tissue now. We are done with epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous tissues. So now we move to a topic called membranes. Membranes are very important, as you will see in the future lectures. Every organ inside your body has protective membranes covering it. Membranes are usually made up of epithelial and connective tissue. So each membrane would consist of a sheet of epithelial cells, and then there would be connective tissue under it to provide nutrition support. And there are 4 types of membranes: mucous, serous, cutaneous and synovial. Mucous membranes are usually present in the inner lining of all of your tracts inside the body, such as the digestive, respiratory, reproductive and urinary tracts. These membranes provide mucus, and this mucus traps pathogens, so it resists pathogen entry, and they also provide support for blood vessels and nerves. The second type of membrane is the serous membranes, and these membranes usually line the body cavities. The serous membrane has 2 layers, the outer parietal and the inner visceral layers. And the serous membranes, remember, are present only in the ventral body cavities. And there are 3 types of serous membranes: pleura, which lines the lungs; pericardium, which forms the membranes around the heart; and peritoneum, which lines the peritoneal cavity. Now, an important point of difference between mucous membranes and serous membranes is mucous membranes usually lines those tubes or cavities inside the body which open to the exterior. So that's why you have all of the tracts, such as the respiratory, the reproductive or digestive tract, containing the mucous membrane, so that they can trap any incoming pathogens, while serous membranes usually cover cavities which do not open to the exterior, and that's why they are present in the lining of the cavity around the lungs, around the heart and so on. The third type of membrane is cutaneous membrane. Cutaneous membrane is the skin. So skin is thick layered and it is water resistant, not waterproof. It is made up of several layers of flat epithelial cells, so stratified squamous epithelium. The last type of membrane is called the synovial membrane, which lines joint cavities such as your knee joint cavity. The synovial membrane produces a fluid which is called synovial fluid, and the function of this fluid is to decrease friction within joints. And this membrane is very unique. It is very different from other membranes. It does not have a basal lamina, and there are also gaps between cells. This figure shows that the synovial membrane usually consists of areolar connective tissue and epithelial tissue. Layers of connective tissue in the body are called fascia, and these layers connect the internal organs with the rest of the body. From the most superficial to deep, the most superficial layer is known as superficial fascia. This is present in the hypodermics, and it is usually made up of areolar and adipose tissue. Then going deep, the next layer is deep fascia, and it is usually made up of dense connective tissue, while the deepest layer would be the subserous fascia, and this is made up of areolar tissue. This is present between the serous membrane and the deep fascia. This figure illustrates the connective tissue framework from superficial to deep.